I'm straight up just saying we should not have women in combat roles.
Thank you.
It hasn't made us more effective, hasn't made us more lethal, has made fighting more complicated. We've all served with women, and they're great. It just, our institutions don't have to incentivize that in places where not traditionally, over human history, men in those positions are more capable.
Oh my gosh, how dare you!
Oh, man.
How dare you say that?
That's exactly what the left said last night.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. When was this interview?
Last week.
Just last week. Okay, so he's obviously...
He was laying the groundwork.
You laying the groundwork. You bet. But that's an interesting way to lay it because you know there's going to be weeping and wailing about that. Holy cow.
I love it.
I don't know, call me old-fashioned, and I'm stuck in the mud in the 1950s. But I don't think women should be in combat either. We don't have to do the same things.
Right.
We don't have to.
So you don't want women to die.
Okay,
so
therefore, I don't support women.
You're a misogynist.
Yes.
And a sexist because you don't want women dying. Yes.
And maybe Jeffy can also talk about this, but when I served and I was deployed with a female, there were some times that we had to wait for them because it was,
Hold on.
Get out of here, really?
It was
okay.
Why?
That time of the month.
Oh,
and
golly.
it had to be dismissed.
My. No,
and I'm like,
honey.
really?
No.
You got a post to go to.
They weren't doing their makeup. It was something else.
No.
Okay.
Hold on.
Right.
Why can Jeffy speak to this?
He can because he deployed as well.
Did he?
Yes, he deployed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
remember the big battle for the Island of Spice?
Urgent Fury.
Thank you.
Doesn't like to talk about
Doesn't
it.
like to talk about it, right? That's why I rarely bring it up.
Yeah, sorry.
Just doesn't like to
Women
talk
were
about
not deployed with us.
They weren't part of the Island of Spice battle?
No,
I mean, it was the early 80s.
So you don't necessarily have any thoughts on this particular
It doesn't
topic?
surprise me that they would be late for a particular
event.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So the left obviously not happy with Pete Hegseth on that, and there's more.
Man.
There's more tasty treats from that interview last week.
Okay. Here's how he'll fix the military, or how he would.
There's a chance to course correct it, but it would take the new Trump administration going after it really hard.
How would they correct it?
Well, first of all, you got to fire. You got to fire the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, and you got to fire this. I mean, obviously, you're going to bring in a new Secretary of Defense, but any general that was involved, general, admiral, whatever that was involved in any of the DEI woke, it's got to go.
Yes.
Either you're in for war fighting, and that's it. And that's the only litmus test we care about. You got to get DEI and CRT out of military academies, so you're not training young officers to be baptized in this type of thinking. And then, whatever the standards, whatever the combat standards were, say, in, 1995, let's just make those the standards.
Okay.
And as far as recruiting, to hire the guy that, did Top Gun Maverick and create some real ads that motivate people to want to serve. And there's lots of other ways in which you could identify who gets promoted and what, but there's an ethos change. I mean, there's a reason people don't want to serve, because they don't trust that their senior leaders are going to have their best interest in mind in combat. I know there were mistakes made on our tours all over the place, but I, at least for the most part, had a sense that my senior leaders were committed to the completion of the mission for the right reasons. And maybe there were strategic differences and all that other stuff, and it wasn't always perfect, but that trust is broken, and you have to reestablish that trust by putting in no-nonsense warfighters in those positions who aren't going to cater to the socially correct garbage.
Okay, how could you appoint anybody but Pete Hegseth for this position?
All right, look at this.
Welcome to the show.
So great.
That's
Donald
good stuff.
Trump, is that you?
It is an outside-the-box pick, and I love it so much.
It's a little unsettling because it's so far outside the box that you're like, wait, what? The pretty boy that we've seen on Fox for 10 years? Mr. Gorgeousness?
Right.
That's good. All right.
All right. I mean, at least he knows how to speak to the public.
Yeah, and on weekends, I guess he can be a Vogue model or whatever. That'll be good. That'll be good.
I think he got to the rank of major, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw that.
Major.
Yeah. So
okay.
I think this is such a great pick. I mean, one that I personally did not see coming. But
No, nobody saw this coming. How could you? How could you see this coming? There's no way. Man. Fantastic, though. I mean, I've always liked him. Just don't know his qualifications for this, but he certainly seems to be.
I mean, give me another
speaking common
30-second
sense.
soundbite. I'm good to go.
Yeah, right. I know. Well, how about this from a leftist who is shocked over Pete Hegseth? Cut 25.
Must have been hacked. And then I saw this.
A leftist named
An official statement from Donald Trump saying,
Lemon.
I am honored to announce that I have nominated Pete Hegseth to serve in my cabinet as the Secretary of Defense.
Read it. Why is that funny?
At first, some of these folks, these nominations, I said, okay, or appointments. All right, they're a little extreme, but there were some normal people in there, kind of normal, like Marco Rubio or Mike Waltz.
We need to talk about the Rubio one. That's
Just
not
regular
done.
old Republicans in there. Mm-hmm. But Pete Hegseth,
What are you laughing
the
at?
morning weekend host
Hold on.
on Fox News.
This is a self-own. He realizes that, right?
Come on.
Okay, that's your take? Come on. It's a Joe Biden take. So is he basically saying that if you're on TV,
I
you
guess
have
can't.
no business
Yes,
being in a
exactly.
authoritative position?
Yeah.
Okay, Don Lemon on TV.
I mean, I will grant, though, to him, obviously I was surprised.
Sure.
He's surprised. But he's not going to be moved by the same things I'm moved by. So he'll continue to be pissed off about this. And
Don
I
Lemon
won't.
can't understand. You know, the left always talks about life experiences and all the different backgrounds and diversity of life experiences and stuff. You know, Pete Hegseth had a life before he showed up on Fox and Friends. Okay, I mean, he has other accomplishments in his life, Don. I know that it's hard for you to even consider the fact that someone could have a life outside of TV.